Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So I just got messaged to do my first ever commission. So yeah, come along with me to do that.
Hello everyone! So this is very exciting news. I was messaged on Instagram a few weeks ago to do a commission, and here you can see me just mapping out the grid and drawing out the sketch. My client wanted two 5x7-inch colored pencil portraits of the same lady, which I was able to fit on one page with half an inch around. For making the grid, I used the grid drawing tool by 𝓘𝓷𝓼𝓽𝓪𝓰, and the process is pretty straightforward. When it comes to sketching using a grid, you want to focus on the individual placement of each shape in each box. Basically, by viewing each box on the grid as a blank canvas, you get more accurate shapes, resulting in a more accurate sketch. I can make a whole separate tutorial on this method, but I won't talk about it for too long.
Hey y'all, so I've been working on this drawing for like the past hour or so. This one I quickly did and it's not like done yet. Neither is that one. I think I'm gonna go back tomorrow to finish these sketches off, and hopefully I can finish these or start coloring tomorrow. Client wants these done within the next 2 weeks, and I also have to ship them off. So that is like a whole other ordeal, but yeah, stay tuned.
Here, I'm just finishing up these sketches and making some final touch-ups before I start coloring.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna start off with this portrait first because it's less intimidating because it's close up and the lighting is a little more straightforward.
Both of the photos my client sent me were pretty blurry, so I thought it'd be best to start with the close-up portrait that had a little more detail so I could know the overall facial structure before I went in to do the smaller portrait on the left, which had less detail and not the best lighting. As per usual, here I'm just mapping out the highlights and shadows of the portrait, not applying too much pressure to the paper as it's only the first couple of layers. When I do grid drawings, I usually like to work within sections of the forms in the drawing rather than going box by box, because I just find it easier to do a whole section in one go instead of going into each individual box. I only really use the grid method to help me get accurate proportions for the sketch, and once I'm done with that, I use a sketch to guide me. Unless, of course, if I wanted to do a photorealistic drawing, then I would probably want to follow the grid. The reference photo of this drawing had a yellow tinge to it, so I tried to combat this by adding pinks and reds to have a more even skin tone. Again, just layering on these pencils to get a smooth blended look.
So it's like a week later and I have not worked on this piece since like last week. But yeah, my YouTube channel is growing really fast. Like I checked this morning and I'm already over 600 subscribers. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone. But yeah, let's go back to working on the drawing.
Here is just some real-time footage of me drawing. I'm making sure to take my time and alternate the pencils, going in a circular motion to evenly blend the colors. And now I'm just applying those tips here. Some clips are really sped up because otherwise this would have been a 16-hour video. The pencils that I use are a mix of Prismacolor Premier pencils and Scholar, and also Faber-Castell Polychromos. I actually only own about 4 or 5 Faber-Castell pencil colors that I bought individually because they are hella expensive. I do love their high quality though. They are oil-based pencils, meaning they have a harder lead, which is great for details. For the neck, I'm applying a base layer of a peachy pink shade and going over that with different shades of brown to add depth and shadow. One tip I have for coloring shadows is to try and avoid using black. Instead, try using shades of brown if you're drawing skin, or even complementary colors which will make your drawing pop. So here's the deal, I just spent like the past hour wasting my time. The portrait is not looking bad, it's just that I am really behind schedule. So we need to get grinding and finish this. So back to what I was saying, try avoid using black for shadows in a colored pencil drawing. Of course, sometimes it's necessary to layer on some black here and there to deepen up the shadows, but just use it very moderately. Moving on to the hair for this portrait, I'm taking my pale yellow and again mapping out the major highlight. As you probably know, I'm not a huge fan of drawing hair, at least with colored pencils. I just find it to be very boring compared to drawing the face, where it has a lot more variety. Like, if I could just have all my portraits be bald, I probably would, because the face is supposed to be the star of the show. Now, that may just be because I always draw the hair last, and I usually don't draw interesting hairstyles, so maybe I should next time. A tip for drawing hair efficiently is to first draw the big shapes and groups of hair, focusing on developing their shadows, and then afterwards add in the detail with a few flyaways and highlights. I decided to take a break from the hair and I moved on to coloring the background. Here I'm just mapping out the trees in the back with a dark blue pencil. And now for the white shirt, I decided to be a little quirky and added a base layer of pink, yellow, and light blue, and then proceeded to blend that out with different shades of cool and warm grays and finally white. Lots of people tend to only use gray to shade in a white shirt, and that just results in a one-dimensional looking piece of fabric. Now I'm just finishing up the drawing and blending everything out, and also reusing the tape because why not? Hello guys, a little update. So I actually made lots of progress on the drawing last night. I ended up finishing it and I just took off the tape and moved it to the other drawing. I'm at least glad that I have one out of the way, and yeah, let's start working on this one. This second portrait was a little more challenging as it was a smaller scale, and like I mentioned before, it didn't have the best lighting for me to clearly see the different features. Here I'm just carefully going over my pencil sketch with a dark brown color and mapping out the general highlights and shadows. I'm using shades like this peachy pink to help transition the highlights and shadows, and also taking this muted brown to do that as well. The actual photo had the lady leaning back on a balcony with the lighting coming from behind, so most of her face was in shadow. That is why you see me here just deepening up the shadows and adding more contrast to the face. At this point, the face was really getting to me and I was hesitant to finish it, so I just delayed that by going to the rest of the drawing. For the arm, there was a really harsh light change from shadows to highlights, so with my brown pencil, I'm just adding the part where they transition into one another. And again, I'm just mapping out the shadows with a warm tone brown and the highlights with a white.
Hello. So hey guys. I finished this one as you saw and started this one, and I'm gonna get this done by tonight. That is what I'm gonna be keep on telling myself as motivation. I'm probably not gonna get it done by tonight, but like school is getting really busy, so I need to manage my time better. And let's get back to drawing.
I have no clue what was happening with the audio in that clip, but anyways, back to the drawing. Here I'm just touching up some different areas of the face. You can see that I use lots of different pencils and I'm layering them on one by one. If you're gonna take away one thing from this video, it's that you must layer when working with colored pencils. Again, for the arm, you can see that I'm layering. I'm using different shades of brown, pink, gray, yellow, and I do use a little purple later on. Of course, the skin is not purple, but by layering on different colors and tones, we create an undertone of the drawing, which is basically the color underneath. This may be shades of red or orange if you're drawing, let's say, something like skin, as the blood is reflecting that warm light. Or you may have a blue undertone if your drawing is something with a cooler lighting. The only areas that I really used a little blue for were the shirt and the background, but other than that, the photo had an overall warm tone, so I used lots of pinks, browns, oranges, and reds. I must admit, the arm was pretty fun to draw. It wasn't too complicated and I love drawing the harsh lighting. Now for the shirt, I just did a base layer of a dark blue, and then for the hair, I'm just doing the overall shapes rather than every single individual strand of hair. When it came time to do the background for this drawing, I didn't spend too much time on it. There wasn't too much detail in the photo anyway, so I didn't focus too much.
Hello guys. Don't mind my voice. I'm very sick right now. But anyways, here's what the drawings are looking like. I did not finish them last night. I didn't finish this one last night. But I made lots of progress, and yeah, stay tuned.
When I was asked to do this commission, I was actually really excited because I've always wanted to do a proper commission for someone. I used to draw portraits for people at school in the 5th grade, and I would charge $5 each, which was very cheap. But taking on this project, I was also very nervous as I didn't want to mess up, and of course, I'd never shipped any of my originals before. In terms of pricing for these two portraits, I charged a total of $300. That included my hourly time, which if I wanted to make minimum wage for 16 hours of work, that would be around $250, and then another $30 for materials, and finally $20 in shipping. Here, I'm just finishing up the drawing. For the shirt, I'm adding the details of the leopard print by adding lots of dots in black and white. And finally, there is the satisfying tape peel.
Okay, so I'm done both of the drawings. I just finished signing them. And now I'm going to go outside and use this matte spray. Hopefully it does not ruin the drawings, but yeah. Hello guys, it has been a while since my last update, but as you guys saw previously, the drawing is finished and there is a matte coating.
I just right now folded it in half so it can be better shipped. And now I'm just gonna cut these pieces of cardboard to fit this, and this is going to be shipped out tomorrow. So yeah, I'm like really proud of it, and yeah, you guys can just see the detail up close. The images, they weren't too detailed, so I had to sort of make up some of the detail in my head, but I had a really fun time making this, and it was such a fun process. And who knows, I might do more commissions in the future. My DMs are always open. But yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys for subscribing, and also thank you so much for 700 subscribers. When I started filming this YouTube video, I was only at like 200 subscribers, I think. Which is still amazing, but then like my previous video sort of blew up. So yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.